Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Sage Samurai here, and this is What If Naofumi Had Whitebeard's Powers. Now, yeah, this is gonna be a new installment to, this is gonna be a new What If series. So, yeah, he will have all of Whitebeard's powers, and he will have every single one of his abilities, like Conqueror's Hockey, Armament Hockey, Observation Hockey, and of course the Quake Fruit. So yeah, he will have pretty much all of Whitebeard's abilities and then some. Plus, due to the fact of him having the shield hero, I just think it was gonna be a good idea. So yeah, that's pretty much all of that. But I hope you guys do enjoy the series. And yeah, why don't we go ahead and begin the series? So yeah, let's begin.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do?
Alright guys, let's get started with this what if. What's going on? Said a voice. And now, this voice will belong to none other than our main protagonist, Naofumi. As Naofumi will go ahead and get up, he will eventually look around the area, only to see that he was surrounded by these guys in white robes, and he also, right next to him, were 3 other people. One of them holding a bow, another one holding a spear, and finally, the last one holding a sword. This would just confuse Naofumi. What's going on, he would say, as he goes ahead and brings his hand up to, his hands up to his head, only to see that one of them was holding a shield. Wait a minute, that book, he would say as he didn't remember his flashback. So Naofumi, he was just a run-of-the-mill guy. Like manga, like reading in general actually. Playing video games. He was pretty much an average teen. Until, actually, one day, Naofumi decided to go to the library to go ahead and just read some books, which he would do so, as when he actually arrived at the library, he caught a book that seemed very interesting. Now, this book actually seemed very interesting to him, so he decided to read it, and this is where, inside that book, it seemed to tell the story about the 4 great heroes, the 4 great cardinal heroes. One of them being the spear hero, another one being the bow hero, and the other one being a sword hero, but the last one was a shield hero. Now, Naofumi, after reading the story, actually was very intrigued until when he turned the pages a couple more, he would then realize that it was blank. Wait, what? Naofumi would say, until suddenly, in a blinding flash of light, he would just disappear. And after that, that's sort of how he wound up here. Flashback end. Naofumi was right now just working all the gears in his mind, just trying to figure out how the heck did he even end up in this situation. But eventually he had come up with the only solution possible, and it was due to the book. I mean, even though it may be crazy, it's the only logical thing right now that he could even think of. That, or just someone used some teleportation ability to go ahead and teleport him here. He really didn't know, but right now, that's so far the best conclusion. At this, he would then look around, only to realize that out of all the heroes, he had to be the shield hero. However, unlike in canon, Naofumi would actually not be, really upset about the shield, considering the fact that he does know a couple stuff about just video games and pretty much stuff like that in general. So, in fact, he's not actually mad about the shield, considering the fact that, it's not really bad. In fact, when he was reading about the shield hero, he should have actually, he actually known a couple of things about him. And the fact that he's able to now just heal things or practically cure anything in general, had to admit, that was really cool. Now, while he was just thinking this in his mind, suddenly he will go ahead and look at, the thing that just appeared to him, and it seemed like some sort of menu. So it's like a video game, he will say. As he goes ahead and tries to tinker up with the menu, however, he will then be interrupted by the voice, that coming from the king. Ah, great heroes, he would say, as he goes ahead and begins to go through his entire monologue about how they need the hero's help and everything. Now, Naofumi didn't really pay attention, considering the fact that he already can tell what the heroes are here for, and the only thing he was listening for was what was the danger and what was the situation. He didn't really want to hear about the king's praises and everything. At this, the Moriyasu, the spear hero, will actually go ahead and say that they will help, with the king actually being happy at him. At this, the other heroes will go ahead and join along, and this is where they will actually turn to Naofumi, which Naofumi, when he sees them all turn to him, he would actually see the king giving him a stink eye. That guy dislikes me, I can already tell, thought Naofumi, as he goes ahead and actually agrees to what they said, allowing all the heroes to cheer. However, he's going to be wary of the king, considering the fact that no one gives you a stink eye unless they go ahead and dislike you, or something, well, or unless, you know, like, normally when someone gives you that look, it mostly means that something is wrong with you, or they just have some sort of problem with you. So Naofumi's going to be wary about the king. So with that, after that, the heroes go ahead and get some meal, as tomorrow was going to be the beginning of their adventure. Now, as soon as the king takes them to their rooms, all of them begin to talk, you know, celebrate and everything, while Naofumi, he actually goes ahead and strays away from the group, unlike in canon. Now, don't get me wrong, he doesn't really, there's nothing wrong with the group that he has for now. It's just that right now he needs to find out about his own abilities before he goes off talking with the others. Plus, you know, you always have to be wary. For some odd reason, we were so into another world to become heroes, and why now all of a sudden? It just seemed too suspicious to him. Plus, there's the fact that he did not know any of these people, and also he has that king who goes ahead and gives him the stink eye and already seemed to have like some sort of dislike for him. So with all that accountable, he really did not want to go ahead and talk to the others about his skill. So with that, now if we would go ahead and walk off to go ahead and, you know, find out about his, you know, abilities, and as soon as he taps on it, he will realize that a lot of them were, well, locked, which makes sense. It's like the beginning of a MMORPG, like you have nothing unlocked. However, when he checked out his stats, he did realize that, you know, his attack and defense were already pretty high, which actually confused him. The shield hero having high attack? I thought the only thing that should be higher than the rest should be the defense. But to be fair, Naofumi had to admit, for a very long time, he had a very, very good figure. Like, he was actually pretty buff. He didn't really know why, considering the fact that he wasn't really someone that trained. Like, yeah, he did some daily exercises and, you know, stuff like that, but he didn't really train so hard to gain these. But then again, most of the things that happen to him are just weird. So now if we can go ahead and check out any abilities, at least, like, come on, he at least has to have one ability. However, as soon as he scrolls around for a while, he actually realizes he does have something open. Two, in fact. Haki, he would say, as one of the abilities that were available was Haki. It was already open, so Naofumi decided to go ahead and, you know, click on it, only to reveal three more things to reveal itself. Two of them were locked, of course, having a question mark at the center. However, one of them was actually open. Armament Haki, he would say. So to Naofumi, it seemed like whatever this Haki ability was, it had some sort of like layers to it. And it seemed like Armament Haki was the first one. I guess this is just a beginning thing. At this, he tries to figure out what Haki is, and sort of try to figure out what it is or what it does. But he decides that heck, he can figure that out tomorrow, considering the fact that tomorrow seems like it's going to be the day where everything begins. So after going ahead and exiting out of it, you go ahead and click on the other one, that being Quake. Now Naofumi, he really did not understand, the ability of Quake, but after reading the description of it, after, reading whatever the ability of it was, he could not believe it. What the heck is this? It was level 1, but this severely, whatever the attack was, he didn't have to worry about it. This thing was broken. He can definitely say, out of all his abilities, this definitely seemed like the most broken thing. But why was it given to the shield hero? Now Quake practically had the ability to where it can literally just, it can cause quakes. Like literally, he can probably even cause an earthquake with it. And he really cannot even believe it. And the fact that this was only like level 1 of the ability, considering the fact that the ability has there's levels to mastery over it, he just couldn't believe it or understand. And it seemed like there was even more to it, but for now, he just has that. At this, Naofumi actually tries to see if he could do it. So he goes ahead and concentrates, trying to figure out what could he do. At this, he begins to sort of feel it. as he goes ahead and tries to channel it. So he goes ahead and channels it to his fist. Come on, he would think, as more and more energy flows through it. As soon as he opens his eyes, he will go ahead and look at his fist, only to see it covered in this, whitish glow. I did it, he would say, as he actually has a smile on his face. I did it, it's awesome. At this, Naofumi, by accident, goes ahead and pumps his fist up in the air, as suddenly he would then hear a crack. What? At this, he goes ahead and looks up, only to reveal that he had somehow cracked the sky. Wait, what? As suddenly a large amount of wind gets shot out to the air, causing pretty much a small little shake in the entire manner, causing people to actually panic a little bit. Oops, he would say, as Naofumi would instantly run away from the area, unbeknownst that he accidentally created a crater underneath his feet, just from the pure impact of his fist. So we go ahead and do a time skip to the next day, to where all the heroes are gathered, as it was finally time for them to begin their quests. Now at this, the king will go ahead and tell all the heroes that it was finally time for them to begin their mission, and that these people who had actually been aligned to them were going to come with them. Now at this, Moriyasu, Rin, and the other guy, I'm sorry, but that guy is like so forgettable. But the other guy goes ahead and actually looks around. I'm sorry, I could not get over the fact that I called the bow hero other guy. Oh my god, that was fucking hilarious. Let me continue on. But he will go ahead and actually look around, and he has to admit, all these people look amazing. However, Naofumi, he was more interested on testing out his abilities. He really did not care whether he got a party or not. So yeah. However, after everyone got choose, everyone would actually realize that no one wanted to go with the shield hero. At this, Moriyasu would just say, well, it sucks to be you, but sorry, man. He would say, actually feeling a little bit bad for the guy. But then again, it was his fault for picking the shield. Boy, heck no, but whatever. At this, Naofumi would just shrug. I'm okay on my own. Well, that's it, he says as he goes ahead and walks off. However, just before he walks off, however, this is where a voice wouldn't speak. Actually, I would accompany Master Naofumi, she would say. At this, Naofumi would stop as he goes ahead and turns around, only to see Mine. Now at this, Mine would go ahead and walk up to Naofumi with a smile. She then says, I can't wait to team up with you, she would say. Naofumi will go ahead and look at her in surprise, while Moriyasu will actually have a look of jealousy, considering the fact that he was already attracted to Mine the very first time he even saw her. Now at this, Naofumi, he would go ahead and narrow his eyes to Mine. Something feels off. However, he decided to go ahead and push it at the back of his mind for now, not really wanting to deal with this whole phenomenal crap. Right now, he wanted to test his abilities, and that was it. So with that, the king will go ahead and allow them to leave, which they do so, as Naofumi and Mine will go ahead and walk off. Now, we're going to go ahead and decide to do a little bit of a change of scene, as you now see them at the area. Now at this, the small little balloon monsters will go ahead and begin to appear as they try to attack Naofumi. Naofumi, however, unlike in canon where he literally was having a struggle with this, he actually already had an idea. As suddenly he will go ahead and begin to draw on that power again, the power of Quake. As he goes ahead and actually allows his fist to glow this whitish glow, causing Mine to look up and actually be confused. What's that? She would say. At this, Naofumi will go ahead and rush at the pile of the balloon monsters that were heading towards him, as he goes ahead and punches them. At this, suddenly it seemed like there was like a crack in the air or something. As Mine would just look on in shock, as suddenly a large wind pressure would then be shot, destroying the monsters in an instant and causing a ginormous crater to form where Naofumi went ahead and punched. The direction where Naofumi punched. At this, everyone, Mine would just look on in shock. How did that dang shield do that? She would say in complete shock. In her mind, of course, not really out loud. Naofumi was just as shocked. I did that? He would say. As suddenly he would then hear his XP points going up, as he then realized he had just leveled up. "Oh, I have such a good idea right now," he would think with a creepy smile, actually creeping out mine. So after that, the whole while, Naofumi was more or less just destroying the monsters one by one like they were nothing. However, he was beginning to realize something about mine, and that was he could not really trust her. In fact, he didn't really like mine, considering the fact that mine seemed more like a pushover. Each time while he was grinding, she would go ahead and say, "Oh, we should go to a store or something," and each time she wanted him to waste his money. And Naofumi was not going to allow that, considering the fact that he already knew that, first of all, what type of idiot goes ahead and gets this random stranger? He obviously does not even know mine, not even a little bit, so why should he trust her? It's as if like no one's parents ever told him to not talk to strangers. Like, yes, he may have matured even more and can talk to them, but with caution. But still, he doesn't trust her, and she has no reason to act all this friendly towards him. I mean, like, bro, I don't know you. You did not accompany to this unknown world. So with that, Naofumi kept his distance. Although he was nice to her and everything, he made sure to never play along in her little games. So after grinding up, Naofumi had to admit he leveled up pretty high. Plus, he also discovered this ability of Haki. Flashback. Now, Naofumi, his strategy for leveling up would have been to draw in the attention of a lot of these balloon monsters and wipe them out with a single punch. So that way he doesn't run around causing a bunch of craters for no reason. However, while doing that, Naofumi actually went ahead and realized something, considering the fact that each time he was punching them, he felt this sensation of drive that continues going through him. He felt like a flow. So one time when he went ahead and drew them all in, he went ahead and actually tried to concentrating on the flow that he felt. And when he did so, his fist would then be coated in armament Haki. His fist was completely black now, and it shocked Naofumi. Mine wasn't really paying attention, considering the fact that she was just in the background, pretty much just looking at her nails, trying to convince Naofumi to go shopping or something. But Naofumi wasn't having it. He really wanted to test out his abilities. So with that, Naofumi looks at his fist and he has to admit, this looked awesome. At this, a bunch of balloon animals go ahead and a bunch of balloon monsters go ahead and rush at Naofumi, and he actually goes ahead and does not use Quake this time, just a regular Haki fist. And he was actually able to destroy the balloon monster in just one punch. And this, Naofumi will actually be surprised, so he decides to wrap his other hand in armament Haki as he begins to blitz through them once again. This way I don't even have to create a crater this time. So with that, Naofumi actually went ahead and learned how to, at some degree, not at Whitebeard's level, but he has learned how to use armament Haki. So with that, Naofumi was now taking a break, actually now at a tavern, eating some food, with mine going ahead and saying, trying to get him to drink for some reason. Yep, this girl is definitely out of her mind, he would think. Right now, he couldn't really go ahead and get drunk. In fact, he doesn't know anyone here. He doesn't know anything. Naofumi, he is a cautious person. Unlike in canon, where the man was just aimlessly following around mine because he was a simp. And we cannot lie, Naofumi in the earlier, the very first episode, Naofumi was a simp for mine. Literally, he did everything. She said, bro, you don't even know this girl. I would have been worried the first time she's like, hey, you want to waste some money? Be like, nah, I'm on a grind. So yeah, I would not trust her. But let me go ahead and continue. So after a while of eating, Naofumi goes ahead and walks off, as Namayan once again insists that he drinks, but Naofumi will go ahead and turn to her. No thanks, I'm gonna go to bed now, he would say. Now, while he goes ahead and walks off, Mine will have a displeasing look as she then thinks, time for plan B, she would say. So, we go ahead and now actually cut to Naofumi, who is now in his room, as he was right now just checking out his abilities. It seemed like his mastery over Quake and his mastery over Haki had gone ahead and increased to levels. His mastery over Haki was like a 2 at best. His armament Haki was a 2, while his Quake was actually a 3. At this, Naofumi had to admit this was pretty awesome. He was mastering his abilities, he was becoming more powerful, and he had to admit his abilities seemed overpowered. However, right now he couldn't really focus on it, so he decided that, never look a gift horse in the mouth. So he decided to go ahead and lay down on his bed. And he thinks that tomorrow was definitely going to be a true grinding session. He really couldn't grind to the fullest, considering the fact that mine continued getting in the way with shopping, or at least trying to get him to buy stuff. So just letting you guys know, Naofumi has all his money. Unlike in Canon, where the man was literally broker than the broke. So Naofumi decides to go ahead and drift off to sleep. However, unbeknownst to him, suddenly Moriyasu, who is just just chilling, about to go to sleep, would then hear like urgent knock at his door as he instantly rushes up. Mine? What's wrong? He would say as he opened the door. At this, Mine, who seemed like, well, with less clothing, as she was just in her garments. I'm not gonna go ahead and say it because I'm a gentleman. Alright, I'm decent, that's it. As she goes ahead and begins to say that the shield hero, at this, she goes ahead and breaks down into tears, which causes Moriyasu to only jump to the one conclusion and instantly get angry. So we go ahead and do a time skip to the next day. Now Naofumi will go ahead and wake up, and instantly he feels something go wrong. It's like as if something at the pit of his stomach just tells him that something was going to go horribly wrong for him. And what do you know, just on cue, suddenly soldiers were bust through the door. Shield hero, we have been ordered for your arrest. Come quietly, he would say. At this, Naofumi would then turn to them and just say, wait, what? At this, the soldiers would go ahead and tell Naofumi that he should come with them quietly. However, Naofumi would begin to, protest, saying like, I didn't do anything, but they wouldn't have it, so they go ahead and drag Naofumi away. So we go ahead and do a change of scene to when Naofumi's arrived at the kingdom, as he was currently right now just surrounded by soldiers. What's the meaning of this? He would say. At this, suddenly the king would then speak. Quiet, you shield hero, he would say. At this, everyone was giving Naofumi the stink eye and looking at him with disgust. Now, at this point, even the heroes begin to berate Naofumi, calling him names, as Moriyasu goes ahead and speaks up. You know what you did. At this, Naofumi goes ahead and really wonders just what the fuck did he do? And this is where the king goes ahead and begins to explain about, how dare you go ahead and act all clueless, until Moriyasu had enough, and he then says, You violated mine. At this, everyone will go ahead and be in shock that their very own hero that they summoned would do such a treacherous thing. At this, Naofumi, all the gears in Naofumi's head were working a mile a second, and he was right now thinking, they set me up. It all makes sense now. As when the king revealed that was his very daughter that the hero went ahead and so-called violated, it all made sense now. This was a setup. He knew from the beginning the king had a dislike for him, and he was stupid. He let his guard down even though he promised himself that he was not going to allow it. I mean, sure, at least he was able to guard everything. As Naofumi, unlike in Canon, where Naofumi lost his, all his money, pretty much Naofumi lost everything. This time, Naofumi still had his money, and still was actually, he was already very powerful. So at this, Naofumi wouldn't think, you know what? I don't care. You can go ahead and blame me for all of this, even though I didn't do it. But you know what? It's foolish talking to a senile old man who should have already been 5 foot in the grave. At this, everyone would go ahead and be shocked at the hero's rudeness, as the king would go ahead and begin to shout, how dare you speak to me like that? I am the king. However, he would then be interrupted, as suddenly a yell would then say, I don't care. This was Naofumi, as he was right now glaring at the king. You're a so-called king, but you make foolish decisions. You act like a damn child. And yet you over here accuse me? Have you done any test? Have you shown anything? I bet you didn't even do that, because you need a freaking brain in order to do something like that, which you obviously don't have. At this, the king was just in shock, as he then says, How dare you? He would say. Simple. By speaking. You old fool, said Naofumi. At this, everyone will be in shock, as Naofumi would then say, you know what, whatever. You can go ahead and accuse me. You can go ahead and try to berate me, but I don't give 2 craps. You can go ahead, and I already know the truth. And talking to you people is pointless. It's like talking to a bunch of damn animals. At this, everyone would just be in shock at the hero's rude things, as Naofumi would then turn to the rest of them. To be honest, I didn't really expect much from you guys. I mean, shoot, I don't even know you people. Y'all don't even know me. So what did I expect from you? But then again, I can't admit, for people, I still can't believe there's still people like you, fools, who don't know a damn thing about trying to find out clear evidence. But then again, what has the human race come to? What have we done, really? I mean, shoot. All you guys have done, really, has just been pissing me off. At this, he points at Moriyasu. All you've done is diss me all because I'm the, shield hero. And as for you two, you guys literally have not even tried to even make a connection with me. But then again, I don't even care anymore. I'm tired of this crap. You know, but whatever. Send me back to my world. At least over there, I don't have to deal with this shit. At this, everyone would just look on in shock as the king finally grew a pair and finally spoke. Well, as much as I would send you back, I can't. As you see, at this, the king begins to explain about the entire situation about the waves, which Naofumi then sighs. Of course, there's a damn reason why I can't escape this hellhole. Well, whatever. To be honest, I don't really care. I'll just take care of all the waves by myself, return back home, and don't have to see none of you screw-ups ever again. At this, Naofumi goes ahead and turns to walk. However, this is where the guards go ahead and try to stop Naofumi, as the king then yells, "How dare you walk away from me!" However, this is where Naofumi wouldn't say, "How dare you try to keep me?" At this, suddenly Naofumi would then have finally have gone through all the requirements necessary to unlock the two other abilities of Haki, one being observation, and the final one, as suddenly an aura would then shoot out of Naofumi, causing everyone in the room to actually become intoxicated with it. What is this? All of them would say, as everyone would go ahead and fall to their knees, some of them even passing out, as the guards that were trying to stop Naofumi would have been knocked out unconscious. It's even the heroes that were there fell down actually on their knees, causing all of them to really go wide-eyed in shock. What? Thought all of them, as Naofumi goes ahead and turns. I dismiss myself when I want. I can do what I want. You have no control over me. You can go ahead and try to accuse me about what you did, about what I apparently did to your ugly daughter of yours. But let me make one thing straight. You can try all you want. You can try to make my life a living hell, but just know this. You try to get in my way, I'll kill you. At this, suddenly, once again, that aura would shoot out, causing more people to pass out, and the heroes to be out of breath, actually now completely on the ground, as they could barely get up. What? They would all think. Now, Fumi would wonder what the heck was happening, until suddenly a pop-up would then appear, saying that he had finally successfully activated the requirements to activate the ability known as Conqueror's Haki. At this, now Fumi would then smirk. Already, I'm already strong, he would say. In his mind, of course. But I still need to get stronger if I want to survive in this hellhole. At this, now Fumi goes ahead and turns to the king, who is now barely conscious right now. He was fighting for consciousness, just looking at Naofumi, breathing heavily. I'm surprised. But you know what? Don't you dare. And I mean seriously, don't even try it. You already done enough to ruin anything for me. But then again, I can't wait. Cause I know someday, Karma's gonna be a bitch to you. And I know one day, you'll get what you deserve. Now, with that being said, Naofumi will begin to walk away, as Moriyasu will actually get up, running towards Naofumi, as he tells him to stop. However, Naofumi will turn to him. What do you want? It's obviously that you believe whatever these people say. To be honest, I never expected much from you. Especially someone so. At this, Naofumi would then give a smirk. A smirk that Moriyasu will remember for a very long time. A weakling, said Naofumi. A pure, stupid weakling. Naofumi will walk away from Moriyasu, who was just there, just shocked, as Naofumi would go ahead and leave. So, after that, Naofumi will go ahead and already knows that he needs to grind if he wants to survive. He needs to fight. He needs to do all of it. As while he's walking, everyone will go ahead and glare, saying, "Oh, look, it's a shield hero," and "Oh, he can't believe he did that." As suddenly, one man actually thought he could get physical, so he goes ahead and grabs Naofumi, pushing him onto a wall. He then says, I should kick your ass for what you did to that girl. At this, Naofumi goes ahead and gives him a blank look. Believe what you want to believe. Go ahead and join your foolish group of these people in this country. At this, the man would actually stop as he takes a good look at Naofumi. He takes a look into his eyes to see anything. However, to his surprise, he could somehow, for some reason, he did not know why, but he could tell that this kid, he would not do something like it. He didn't know why, but he just knew. What's wrong? I thought you were gonna go ahead and try to beat me up. Not that Naofumi would allow it. He would easily beat the shit out of this man. At this, the man goes ahead and let Naofumi go. He then says, "Nuh-uh, you didn't do it." This would cause Naofumi to look at him, with a raised eyebrow. Oh? At this, the man just says, "Nah. After all, I don't really see a kid like you doing it." At this, Naofumi will go ahead and actually look at the man. He then says, "You know what? I'm glad to see that this country isn't full of idiots or mindless slaves." At this, the man would just laugh. He then says, "Well, I'm not like others. Listen up, kid. Just know that out there it's going to probably be rough for you, but if you ever need anything, you could come to me." At this, Naofumi had to admit, this guy was dope. "What's your name?" Naofumi would ask. At this, the man wouldn't speak. Elhart. Now, at this, Naofumi, after hearing the man's name, smiles. "Well, Elhart, glad to see that you're no fool." At this, Elhart just chuckles. "Well, I mean, I haven't been around for much longer. But listen, kid, I could obviously tell that things are going to go rough for you because of this whole situation." Naofumi nods with a serious expression as Elhart decided that, why the heck not? He then says, does he have any gear? With Naofumi shaking his head, implying that no, he doesn't. Which the man goes ahead and says, "Well, I can't allow a hero like you going around without it." So with that, the man goes ahead and walks into his shop, coming back with the same thing that he gave Naofumi in canon. As Naofumi says that he doesn't have money, but the man just says, I don't need it. I don't need it. Actually, no. Actually, I forgot. Sorry. I accidentally messed up there. At this, the man will go ahead and, give Naofumi the thing. As Naofumi pulls out a bag of money to give to him, but the man says that it's for free, saying that, life is already tough enough. You're going to need all the things that you can have. You need all the help you can get. At this, Naofumi smiles. "Well, pleasure meeting you, Elhart. You could expect to see me more often." At this, the man would just nod with a good smile on his face, as he would go ahead and give Naofumi a fist bump. Now with that, Naofumi will walk out of the alleyway with the new drip, of course, because he's the freaking shield hero, bros, needs the drip. So with that, he will walk away as he then says, "You know what? Maybe not everyone is as terrible as I think." But this is when he remembers the king, but he says, "No, but that guy's definitely going to hell for what he did." As he goes ahead and walks off and begins on his grinding adventure. As this will be the end to part 1 of What If Naofumi Had Whitebeard's Powers. What do y'all think of it so far? Add any suggestions if you want me to add into the story. I might take it, who knows. I really hope you guys are enjoying this What If. I have a lot of good ideas what's gonna happen, but pretty much I hope you guys do enjoy the story. And either way, it is Sage Samurai here, and I am out. Peace.